As this has developed in the last several decades, are there some things that you've seen, like say my generation that comes after you? Do you think there are things that we're not carrying on, or do you see things that maybe we are getting in your students? What do you think it's going now? You guys have a lot of students that I've met over the years, and when they're approaching this, do you? Do you have any opinions on how it's developing?
I think it's developing beautifully, especially someone like Valerie. Valerie is bringing some of the African tradition to this country far better, easier than we all had it when I was trying to learn any of that. I mean, she's really exposing a lot of people to that music. You know, I mean. I think she's done a lot to help that cause.
And John, what do you think about the students that you've seen over the years taking the torch from you and going, how do you see that growth happening? Oh,
it's absolutely happening. There's a few of them right here. There's one of them right there, another one right there, another one right there, another one right there. Look at those guys in the back. I mean, because they all, I think it's a teacher's thing to turn on the next generation to what's happening, and of course now, the last 20 years or so, the world music. Some people spell it WHIRLED, but it doesn't matter, and whatever you want to call it, it's great stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's I don't know, is Alfred here? Where's Alfred? Okay. Anyway, I thought Alfred Ledzekpo was going to be here, but I don't see him. And he's been teaching at Scott. He taught at Columbia University for a while, and he's been teaching at Cal Arts for the last 25 years or so. And he's had hundreds of students. Here's one right there, Andrew. This guy here, and this guy now is playing. I mean, he comes in and he plays lead drum, and he plays in Zigzugbe, the woman there says she loves to dance to his drumming. So, they've given it to him now, and he's just some white dude from, where did you ever come from? I don't even know.
from Germany.
Exactly. So, and that just proves that all of that's, whoever you are, you still got this brain, just like whoever it is that came from Africa or India, and they're turning you onto it. And there's a good example right here. There's another one right there, sitting next to someone. He's really turned into quite a damn good tabla player. And it's not just that they play well, but they understand the forms. And if they hear someone play, they say, "Oh, I know what that is. That's a tukra or whatever." They know the forms too. So it's I know it's without my asking it or without looking for it to happen, it's come out in my Western drumming, and the same thing is like Sapan's son, Nilan. Now, how old is Nilan? 19, 18, and this guy, man, Nilan he's not only a really good tabla player, but now he's playing drum set and using the concepts of tabla on the drum set.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, especially odd time rhythms. John and I were with the early Zappa stuff, and there weren't that many people playing odd time rhythms. I remember when I was studying with Harihar Rao, and he brought Don Ellis by one day, and he says, "Hey, Don Ellis is one of my students." So after our class, Don Ellis said, "Hey, let's jam a little bit." I said, "Okay." He says, "Let's play the blues in 5." And I fell on my butt. I mean, I went home and I says, "That ain't ever going to happen to me again." I practiced 5 all week, and the next week we came back, and Don came to the lesson. I said, "Hey, Don, let's jam." He says, "Okay, let's play the blues in 7." So I went back and I said, I got to learn the blues in every rhythm there is. Played in 11. We were finally he turned us on. Well, Harihar turned us on to 19. We were playing the blues in 19. But I mean, now the kids are picking that up so easy. I just went to hear. There's a show that Zappa wrote called Joe's Garage.
Yeah.
And
Who was just telling me about that?
there's a Polish percussionist. He's from Poland. He's playing the mallet chair, actually most of the percussion. And the drummer, I mean, they're playing odd time stuff. It's just killing me, you know. I mean, the exposure. It's the exposure. You guys had so much more exposure than we did. I grew up before television, so it's gratifying to see what young guys can and gals have at their disposal now, you know.
Mm-hmm. Bob, what's your perspective on the students that you've influenced over the years through in bringing these other instruments in?
I don't know about my influence, but what's interesting to me is the sort of progress of the rate of communication around the world. And when you think back through history, music has always been ready to embrace something new or something foreign. It's been a continuous process. I mean, in percussion, if you think of Western percussion, cymbals come to us from Turkey. Why? Well, because the Turkish armies invaded Vienna over and over again in the 1680s, and composers heard the Janissary music from those armies, and they began to adopt the sounds. I don't know of any composers from that time who undertook to go to the Middle East to learn about the structure or the forms of that kind of music. In fact, that might have been deadly to try to do that at that time. But they adopted the sounds. Gluck using cymbals for the first time in his operas. Later, Mozart and Beethoven. The sounds start to come in slowly. It would take 30, 40, 50 years for these things to become amalgamated. Later, when the world, technology in the world developed more, a guy like Colin McPhee could go to Bali in the 30s to learn about that music, but still he would have to go there on a boat. He'd have to learn by himself the language. It would take years to figure out what was going on in the music. Now, you can go to schools all over North America, and in one semester you can learn what it took him over a decade to figure out by himself. You have groups of committed students who all speak the English language. You have a teacher who has developed a kind of pedagogy, whether it's for tabla playing, teaching that to Western students, or gamelan music, West African music. It's becoming well established how to do it. In many ways, it's a great thing that that's occurring, because we're not so sure how this music is being maintained in its original environment. That's all under siege around the world. So it's very interesting to me, the speed that things are starting with the digital availability of music through CDs or downloads, and who knows what other means are coming in the near future that'll be even more direct and immediate than that. This is all happening faster and faster, and that puts us very closer and closer together, human beings, and that's the most interesting part of this to me, with generations that are coming. Mm-hmm.